This is Becton99, your Lord and sometimes personal 2K savior. So as you can see on your screen, we're looking at 2K's version of Anthony Edwards. They have him listed at 6'4" with a 6'4" wingspan. I'm going to show you two ways to build this archetype. And these are just templates. If you don't like the way it works out, you can feel free to make your own adjustments. But pretty much what I took away from this screen that 2K had was Anthony Edwards. Their version of him has access to Deep Bomber through cap breakers, and he has a pretty high dunk. So we're going to try to maintain those design principles there. So with the magic of editing, you're already here at the screen that I labbed up. You have a 92 speed, 88 agility, which is sort of my standard. You have access to slippery ball off on Hall of Fame. You could easily +1 that to legend off ball. I wanted you to be able to play defense on, being a two guard. You're going to have to maybe play a lot of 6'8s. And so you're going to need a little bit of strength. You're going to need your interior defense when they try to take you to the paint. And then on this build, you're going to have to cap break for at least a 92 perimeter defense to get gold challenger and badges like that. I think you get a off-ball pest on Hall of Fame at 92, and it can go a little higher. You have your 69 block rating there. The 89 three ball, you're going to have to cap break that to 90 to get access to Deep Bomber, and your mid-range can go up to a 92. Depending on your play style, I would go, I'd use cap breakers to get my mid-range up to a 92, but you don't have to. But the reason why your mid-range is so high, my thinking is this is the easiest 2K to shoot in. So why wouldn't you want Deep Bomber? And the mid-range, the fades have not been nerfed. So why wouldn't you want to fade or have the potential to fade if you get, in a situation where you might need to pull up because the center is, camping paint or whatever the situation may be. The drive and dunk on this one can go up to, I believe, a 97. But I would say stop at 96. And one of the reasons why I'm going to show you a different option at 6'4" eventually is that at 6'5", is that 6'4" and under, you can't get standing dunks. So, and I believe that you should have the option to have standing dunks if you're going to play as Anthony Edwards, because you want to be dominant all around the rim, not just like, if you have a running start. So you can see the strengths and weaknesses, and you obviously see his name in the shades. And so basically, I would be, depending on your build specialization, I would definitely say go shooting, but you know how the specializations are. I'm not doing more than one myself, so whatever specialization you have is the one I'm pretty sure you're gonna be locked in with for the rest of the cycle. So, but yeah, they call him a two-way, 3-level scorer, and we're going to be moving towards the cap breaker screen for the 6'4" version. So, disclaimer, I'll probably say this again later on in the video. For the 6'5" version, while I was doing it, I was kind of doing it in real time. So I kind of forgot to raise the free throw up to about a 71. It's going to be like a 65, but we'll talk about that again here. We'll talk about that again later on. So on this one, you can see you can go pretty high on your perimeter defense if you wanted to. Maybe you and your friends run zone, so 90 is perfect, and you won't even need to go any higher on that. But you can go higher on that if you want to. I would take the vertical up, because the vertical needs to be at least an 85 to get Hall of Fame posterizer if you go up to a 96 on your drive and dunk. And then the straight arm tomahawk might require you to have an 86 vertical as well. So obviously I would shoot for that as well, because that's one of the primary points of having a 96 dunk. Um, and then theoretically, if you are concerned about the ball handle or the speed with ball, you should make a takeover with one of the shooting badges. Could be the deep bomber or could be the sharpshooter badge, but you could do a plus 10 or a plus 15 um, on your ball handle or your speed with ball, and that way you'll be able to move faster if that's something that you're worried about. That's pretty much my design philosophy for the entire game this year. You can make a sacrifice in the takeover, and since shooting is so good, you really don't even need plus attributes to it. But in terms of the takeover, but if you're concerned about that, you can find a way to change it. But I would just say make it up with your takeover. So I'm jumping to the 6'5" version of Anthony Edwards, or my version of Anthony Edwards. I'm sort of doing this in real time. Like, this is pre-recorded, but I was labbing it up on the same video session, I guess you can say. But I guess when I was doing this, like I said, I forgot to raise the free throw up. Most of my builds have like a 71 or 73, something like that, free throw um, rating. To me, you'll make them. I mean, like, if you do something wild, like trying to dunk on a build that you don't have, the game will make you miss one of the free throws or maybe both of them. Like if you have a low rating. But if you're fouled doing something that your build can do, you're gonna make them most of the time. And so scoring is so overpowered that the game, if the game is coming down to a free throw, um, you and your team are already selling before you miss the free throw. So I'm not even worried about that. But on this build, um, I would keep everything the same. And I already looked at the cap breaker screen, and one cap breaker would push you up 7 points on your free throw. So you could get that pretty easily, and you could just tell yourself whatever the cap breaker you get from the daily challenges, we get to 100 or whatever. You just use one of your cap breakers on that, and the build is still viable. I wouldn't take anything down to fix the free throw, honestly. I think the thresholds that you have naturally in the builder are pretty good. Um, I would do, um, yeah, I would leave it the same, and I would just take the hit on that, because I want you to keep your mid range at the 90, the 89 3, and then the 91 drive and dunk going into the builder. And I like where your blocking is, and the interior defense, I would cap break that one more tick just to get over the 75 hump. But you see, when we come here, we lose Anthony Edwards, but we keep the name and we keep J.R. Smith. So make of that what you will. I think this one is better just because of the standing dunk option. Um, Most people don't even build their builds with interior defense or that high of an interior defense. So, especially at the guard position. So I would want to get some standard dunks off. I wouldn't want to spend the whole cycle of 2K not doing a standing dunk on my build that I paid $100 for. So looking at the cap breaker situation here, the interior defense, you could raise that up to get over an 80. That's something that I probably would do, just because if you go to the proving grounds, you're going to have to guard a 6'8". And people in the rec want to make 6'8". Pretty much, they want an advantage, a height advantage, especially early on in the cycle before they patched shooting over people. But I would consider buffing that up just to have that extra tool in your pocket, because you might run into taller people Or you may have to play the small forward in random rec, and you can obviously have to guard a 6'10" person. I would, like I said earlier, make up my ball handle or my speed with ball differential through the takeover. Cap break for the 96 dunking, and get your vertical up. And with this build, you could even go up to, I think, a 93 dunking. I mean, 93 three ball, and you could get gold limitless. So